welcome to my 10th anniversary special. Yep, it's been about 10 years since I created my YouTube channel. I do remember the days when YouTube allowed you to create your own custom channel instead of the bullshit channel scheme we have now. And copyright claims were non-existent.
You do realize that other people remember that too, right?
Shut up! Let me enjoy my moment of reflection.
Right. Well, what are we reviewing today?
Well, today we are talking about the Simpsons game.
Wait, what? The Simpsons? That's still running? If it is, you do realize most people don't really watch The Simpsons these days. In fact, aren't they usually a year behind the times?
Well, I still watch it whenever it's on. Usually if I remember it's on. But, I still have most of the golden season on DVD anyway. Also, because I want to.
You might want to see who the developer of that game is.
Really? Who is the... Oh, EA. Right. Well then, in that case, it's time to summon them.
Them?
Them. Hey, Black! I have pie!
Pie. Hey, where's the pie?
No, I said there was no pie.
No pie? I said no.
You summoned them? They don't know anything.
Well, Ninji, it wouldn't be a 10th anniversary special from me if they weren't in it. So, Purple, Black, want to help me review the Simpsons game?
Alright, it's not like we have anything better to do.
This is not gonna end very well.
I'm black.
The Simpsons game starts off with Homer asleep while watching TV with his family. We see inside his dream, it is a world full of chocolate.
Chocolate, gimme.
This level basically acts like a tutorial. It's fine as far as tutorials go. Throughout the level, Homer is chasing after a white chocolate rabbit. At the end, Homer is given the ability to transform into a giant ball. After smashing some chocolate rabbits, Homer wakes up from his dreams, cursing reality.
I want to be the chocolate lover too.
Well, too bad. This is reality.
This is a reality where we are controlled by hands, and we have voices that don't come out of our mouths because we are simply plush toys.
Purple, stop getting metaphysical. The game cuts to Bart trying to buy a Grand Theft Auto clone, but Marge takes the game away from him. Disappointed, Bart wanders into an alley when the game's manual lands right in front of him. He discovers he has game powers along with the rest of the family. Homer spots him, and the two decide to try and use their powers for good by sneaking into the Natural History Museum.
It's getting metaphysical now!
Okay, so the game is metaphysical. The museum level teaches us how to play as Bart. The thing he can do is turn into Bartman to crawl on walls and to glide to far-off areas. He uses his slingshot to defeat enemies and hit switches. Not one of the better levels, but it does fine. The museum level just feels pretty bland, and it's just not interesting enough to be truly memorable. Next up, Bart gets an idea to have Homer use his game powers to cheat at an eating contest. This level is one of the more interesting levels, as you are under a strict time limit. What you need to do is eat as much food as you can as Homer to turn into a giant ball and bash your way to the end. It's pretty fun to bash your way through the citizens of Springfield. It's mindless fun, and it's short.
What do you mean?
Some of the levels just drag on and on and on. gets kinda tedious at times. Take this next level for example. Bart shows the game manual to Lisa, so she decides to stop Mr. Burns from destroying the forest. How noble. Here, we learn how to control Lisa. Problem is, she's not exactly the best one to control. On top of a pretty boring level setting, her primary thing is, at certain statues, you can use her Buddha hand ability to move objects around. This game's version of puzzle solving. After Lisa's time in the forest, she shows Marge the manual. This is where the game picks up. Marge is trying to get the Grand Theft Auto clone banned in Springfield. I should probably state the title of the clone. It's Grand Theft Scratchy.
I take that over Grand Theft Auto.
Marge is by far the most fun to play as. She can use her megaphone to control other characters to do her bidding, as well as use Maggie to access vents to flip switches. I find her first level to be one of the best, as you're basically being a hypocrite by using video game violence to ban video game violence. Another part of this level that I don't know when I had this game for the Wii, it's set in the open world of...
Wait, you get to explore Springfield?
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
It is, but as you get to explore this world, it does start to feel empty. Sure, the characters that fill Springfield are wandering around the town. The world itself just feels pretty lifeless and barren. I think maybe adding some cars and maybe giving some music to the world would bring more life in, would make a world of difference.
You could just buy the DLC from EA. Or just simply play Simpsons Hit and Run.
Well, you do have a point, and nice job at EA. Another point, yeah, I suppose if they did include vehicles, it would probably feel too much like Hit and Run, but I don't necessarily think that would be a bad thing.
You can tell this game was developed by EA. Everything is so barren. That sounds about right, something that they would do.
No, I think you're thinking of Ubisoft.
I think it's about all of them.
Hey, what are you all doing?
Reviewing the Simpsons game? What are you doing here?
Didn't you mention the development studio behind this game?
Isn't it some no-name studio from the developers themselves?
No, it's EA Redwood Shores.
Who?
The studio that made Dead Space,
Come again?
Visceral Games.
Alright, they developed the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions, while another developer handled the Wii versions. That would explain to me why the game is more expanded upon than the Wii version, which I played a long time ago. The Wii version didn't have this open world that this version has.
Exactly, and you all didn't think to mention it.
Sorry, Cookie. Well, I guess we'll get back to the game. After each family member discovers their video game powers, the aliens Kang and Kodos attack the town. The Simpsons discover their powers aren't strong enough to defeat them, so Bart and Lisa go searching for Professor Frink, and the two end up in the game. I'm gonna say it right now, this is probably one of the more imaginative levels in the game. The level takes place inside of a factory setting. It's filled with copies of Sonic, Mario, and some Koopas. You are having to walk across conveyor belts of old cartridges and fighting multiple copies of EA football players and ninjas.
What do you have against ninjas? I am a ninja. I have a plaque and everything.
Ooh, can I see it?
No.
Nothing! Ninjas are cool! It's just these enemies just look very stereotypical. I would like to point out this too. It is one of the moments of the game you realize it has aged pretty damn well. From EA having no quality control to the EA evils of EA's marketing. Anyway, you make your way to Donkey Kong, who has kidnapped Professor Frink. You defeat him and he gives you a strategy guide for the game. Not before realizing he married a Koopa.
Wait, what?
What? What did I do?
You married a cartoon character!
What? What? No, I did not. I can't believe I'm being interrogated like this. If it's as creepy as you all, I don't know why you did it. It's just a weird joke. I'm not. That just creeped me out. I'm not gonna go away now.
I mean, no sense. You're very suspicious there.
I know, right? We should go investigate that.
You two, we have a review to do.
Sorry, Ninji.
Once Bart and Lisa get back to Springfield, we have 3 levels to explore. These levels have Bart and Homer fight against aliens to rescue Cletus from getting anal probed.
That in itself is pretty funny. One of the most cliche things you can do in any medium. That is pretty funny.
Yeah, this game parodies them. Throughout the game, whenever you do a video game cliche, the comic book guy comes in to make a joke at the cliche you just performed. Sometimes they're clever, but other times it just feels like the developers put these notification-like thingies in there thinking that they are clever. But not really. I think maybe in order for these to work, maybe they should have gone further with this idea. Like, I don't know, with most games doing double jumps, maybe just making the main jump higher and equivalent to do a double jump. One of the other levels is you fighting against the Lard Lad statue from Treehouse of Horror 6.
It's cliche that you knew that.
Well, I think at this point he's a big Simpsons fan. Making it cliche that you'd pointed out.
Stop with the cliches! You're hurting my brain!
The Lard Lad statue fight isn't very hard. You just have to knock down his back panels to get at his wiring. The problem is the camera and the aiming. You're mostly fighting those than you are fighting the boss. That will happen throughout the game too. The camera and some of the controls will fight you the entire way. It's just this level is the one where it's the most prevalent. Finally, we have a level based on Treehouse of Horror 11, where dolphins try to take over Springfield. I don't have much to say about this level. It's pretty dull and not very fun to play. All you're doing is getting to the end of the wharf to fight the Dolphin King. It's not that great of a boss fight, and once you've cleared the dolphins from him, you are left to figure out how to beat him. It's one of the more boring levels in the game.
Wait, no song and dance number of So Long and Thanks for All the Fish from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie?
I don't have the budget. Besides, YouTube's copyright stuff scares me. But that would have been very appropriate, though. After defeating Kang and Kodos, the Simpsons reunite at their house to try and return Springfield back to normal. Only for Bart to point out their weakness. King and Kodo hear this, and they no longer show their weakness.
Way to go, dumbass!
The family decide to look for more cheats on the internet. Homer spills some of his beer on the keyboard, and the family gets sucked back into the game engine. They meet up with Will Wright, creator of SimCity and The Sims.
Seems awfully specific to introduce someone.
The game does it too. He's even floating on a Sim Diamond. Will Wright, the creator of SimCity and The Sims, is trying to destroy an outdated Simpsons game, going as far to destroy pixelated versions of the family. Homer and Bart save the outdated Simpsons and escape Will Wright, creator of SimCity and The Sims. The outdated Simpsons tell the Simpsons game Simpsons that they're going to be outdated when the new console game comes out with a brand new Simpsons game filled with the new Simpsons characters of the Simpsons family. That is a lot of Simpsons.
This game sure has aged well.
Outdated Simpsons give the Simpsons game Simpsons a task to visit the creator, but in order to do so, the Simpsons game Simpsons have to visit 4 game worlds to obtain 4 keycards. We can do these in any order that we wish. I think that is the last time I'm saying Simpsons in a single set, because it's getting tired. I'm trying to figure out how to put Simpsons in every word. I'm trying to do Simpsons. We'll first cover Big Super Happy Fun.
Still better than Happy Witch Time.
Hey, that was a data design joke made a long time ago. I don't think anybody really cares at this point.
In this level, we play as Homer and Lisa as we try to stop Dr. Dirt, Milhouse, from destroying a Japanese village. This level is not really the best one. For one thing, it drags. You have a main hub that branches off into 3 separate areas of different elements. In each area, you have to do the same thing to get to the shrine at the end, and that is create platforms. Next, and only in the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions, you had to fight Pokemon-like beings. In the Wii version, it was just a cutscene. That, I do admit, is pretty cool. I did not think you get to do that. It does drag though, because the level is just tedious and not very pleasant to look at. I'll say the Pokemon clones do look cool, and once again, it did surprise me that you actually get to fight them in this version. Next up, I did NeverQuest. In this level, we play as Homer and Marge. Here, both Homer and Marge are dressed up as Link and Zelda, respectively. The goal is to stop the Patty and Selma dragon from harming the little hobbits. This one is okay, but very average. The first boss fight against the dragon is fun, but the last fight against the dragon is boring. If I remember right, the last fight was more exciting in the Wii version, with it being a copy of the first, but with more lava. I could be wrong, it's been a very long time since I last played the Wii version. The third level I did was Grand Theft Scratchy. This one I actually do like, and I think it's the best level in the game. Heck, it's one of my favorite levels. Here, you play as Marge and Lisa. The goal of the level is to clean up the game. Basically think babying up Grand Theft Auto. Making it more mommy appropriated, I guess. You do this by controlling a mob of dogs to rebuild the houses. In the level, it's the only level where you have the whole level to explore to get your objective completed. It is the one that, to me at least, is also the most interesting to look at, especially with the juxtaposition of family-friendly buildings against mouse pimps and cat ho.
The more we see of this level, it could be used as a metaphor for the current state of YouTube.
Wow, the more and more we play this game, the more and more it seems to have aged very well.
Okay, I think the audience knows that at this point.
Sorry, Ninji.
Finally, Medal of Homer. The level is broken up into 3 acts, each one more tedious than the last. The first act is Homer and Bart trying to capture surrender flags from the French. You know, those surrender monkeys that the show and the game keeps touting over? Nothing action-y here, just hearing nothing but French stereotypes repeated over and over again. Add a bad camera and small alleyways, you just get a tedious task that just feels like filler. Second act is us having to escort the military vehicle to the end. I don't remember this part in the Wii version, but playing it now, I don't think you're missing much. I realized this as far as I got farther from the van to destroy everything in its path. There is nothing attacking from behind, giving you no incentive to stay close to the van, eliminating the challenge. Finally, Homer and Bart have to blow up Burns' ship. The camera here is fighting you the most as you maneuver small spaces and the camera gets stuck behind everything. Eventually, you get up to Burns and he goes down with one punch. Again, for a level that parodies one of EA's once biggest franchises, this level sure ain't.
Wow, EA's failure in one level. Heh, shocking.
Once the family has collected the 4 key cards, the Simpsons are able to meet the creator himself, TV's matte graining. Unlike the Wii version, which was a full level, the 360 and PS3 version has you fighting a bunch of lawyers just to get inside. And once you are able to get inside, you are able to fight against Matt himself. His fight is more fun here, as it doesn't feel like an enemy gauntlet. Plus, you have to fight against...
Zoidberg had it coming. His level in the Futurama game sucked.
Yeah, I would like to point out the Simpsons game feels more like a Simpsons game than the Futurama game feeling like a Futurama game.
Ooh, we should get a disenchantment game.
Then everything would be complete.
After defeating the creator, the Simpsons escape back to Springfield, which is still under attack. Lisa gets an idea to build a stairway to heaven. Beats a stairway to hell. As a way to ask God to put everything back to normal. God's boss fight is a parody of DDR. It wouldn't be so bad, it just feels like a huge cop-out.
That was the Simpsons game.
Is the game any good, unlike most of the episodes of The Simpsons these days?
Or does it shine like the Simpsons of yesteryear of the 90s?
Wait, we were talking about The Simpsons?
Well, of course, what? We've been talking about The Simpsons the entire time. What were you thinking we were talking about the entire time?
Part.
You are an idiot.
Sorry, Ninji.
My view of the game is just like my view of the current Simpsons episode. The game, like the current style of the show, has levels that are bad and annoying, while some are just mediocre. But there are some levels that are very good and remind me of past Simpsons. To write this game off as terrible just doesn't feel right. At the end of the day, the game just comes off as harmless. And again, like the Simpsons of today. You know you'll enjoy it when you play it, but once you finish it though, you aren't going to come back to it for a while. Until about a few months or years later, you might remember you have it and play it again.
So, harmless fun, though a bit average.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, we'll see you all next time, people.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Wait, what are you doing?
This is the way how we sign off.
Don't they know that already? We just cut to the credits usually.
Yeah, but nobody knows how to end these videos. It's been this way for the last 11 million years.
Black, it's been 10 years.
Sorry, Purple.
Well, now that we're done with that, what do we all want to do?
I don't know. Go find that pie I was promised.
For the last time, that pie did not exist.
I'm still sad. And now I'm mad. I was promised pie.
You weren't promised anything.
Why is your dog looking at me like that?
I think he's probably mad because his gag wasn't in this review.
And it seems to be directed towards you.
Why me?
Probably because you're the person's sidekick.
I still have no idea who that guy was.
What? No.
Well, we'll see you later, Ninja. Bye-bye.
Black, you better not go looking for pie again. Back.
This hurts! Why is this hurting me so